Okay, should be all set up, and I think we are looking good. So hey everybody, welcome to the AMD Dota 2 Premier League. This is the regional qualifier final. This is round 1 of Group A. So how we've gotten here is that there were a whole bunch of qualifiers, each for a different region in SEA. 2 teams advanced from each of those qualifiers. Now we have a group stage to further filter those teams a little bit further and find the top 8 who will advance to face the invited teams. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment. This is going to be AtE.Err0R against IndidiousIdol. I am Basecap, and I'm happy to be here bringing you guys this game. So yeah, that's about it as far as introductions go. I can make one very quick change off to the side, make sure that everything is running as it should. Appears to be the case. So yeah, I haven't done as much casting as I would like of late, as I was talking to Epio in chat. I guess a quick shout out to him. Getting back on the horse, as it were, trying to get back in the casting seat and get some stuff done. So looking forward to this game. We've got another best of 3 between the winner of this match and another team after this as well. And for anyone interesting, I believe Aggressive Teamwork Experience, AtE, are an Indian team, or at least that's how they've been listed on the bracket, and IndidiousIdol are a Singaporean team. So AtE are going to be over on the Radiant side. They're going to have first pickup and first ban, and IndidiousIdol, well, you get the picture. Over on the Dire, they have the first, well, they have second and third pick. And Phantom Lancer and Lone Druid, almost the immediate bans from Aggressive Teamwork Experience here. Definitely pesky heroes in the current meta, but that's going to leave some of the more early impact pesky heroes to get through. Sort of looking at Keeper of the Light, Nyx Assassin, things in that vein at the moment. And IndidiousIdol, I think it comes down to a question of, well, I'm not sure quite how popular Wisp is in the SEA scene at the moment. I don't think he's necessarily that huge. So I think it's sort of Darkseer, Nyx, Mag, Coddle for this last ban spot. And there are just so many heroes that you want to get rid of that it's difficult to pin down exactly what it's going to be, but IndidiousIdol are going to choose to remove the Nyx Assassin. So I guess of the tier 1 quote-unquote heroes, Keeper of the Light is still their very common first pick. Though we have been seeing a lot of Nyx, a lot of Shadow Demon creeping their way up as well. Though AtE with their bans, I don't know if they're going to want to try and take this too late, especially with PL and LD being banned out. So they're going to pick themselves up a Magnus and pass it back to IndidiousIdol. Cheers, Epio. So, okay, what are we thinking right now with Magnus? Immediately, you gotta think Rubik. Fantastic overall support, always nice as a deterrent to Magnus. If you can get your hands on reverse polarity in a single team fight, that's absolutely great. So we're gonna see Rubik, wouldn't be too surprised to see Nyx. He is locked down a little bit by Magnus, and there's still plenty of responses left to him in the pool. But I would be none too surprised to see him right now, or potentially a Gyrocopter. But IndidiousIdol, interestingly, going to take the Shadow Demon. I was just about to say, Shadow Demon very strong in the current pool, very common pickup, but you don't normally expect to see him with Rubik. Just the combination of the 2 supports is a bit strange. They've got a lot of lockdown, but not a whole lot of damage synergy. They're both, I guess, the best setup supports in the game at the moment, and we don't normally see them both on the same team because there just aren't that many carries and that many other things that need the follow-up. But if you get Rubik plus Lina or Leshrac, or Shadow Demon plus Lina or Leshrac, then you've got yourself a fantastic ganking combo, a fantastic laning setup. So I'm really surprised to see this from IndidiousIdol, and it might be something a little bit different. And Jakiro, the immediate pickup from AtE. So I guess I'm gonna have to. Well, I'm a little bit bemused at the drafting at the moment. I don't know if Jakiro needs such an early pickup, though. AtE definitely needs to take at least 1 support in this first round, especially after IndidiousIdol have taken 2. Just because they can throw support bans all day in the second round of bans and not care because they already have their supports locked out. And Nature's Prophet going to pick up here as well from AtE. So it looks like Magnus more than likely heading towards mid. Prophet probably as the jungle / off lane, could be soloing the safe lane as well, though aggressively tri-laning into what IndidiousIdol have going right now. could be quite difficult. They've got two really great supports, great at combo breaking, great at all sorts of things. So Insidious right now really need to pick someone high priority, otherwise they're going to get kind of locked out of the game. So hopefully we're not going to see their 3 right now. I wouldn't be too surprised to see their mid, or too surprised to see their farmer. There's a gyrocopter, there's a Nakes, there's a Quap, there's a Puck, there's a TA. And against what AtE are rocking right now, not 100% sure, but it's going to be a Queen of Pain, so we might see Nature's Prophet maybe making his way towards an Orchid, depending. Though a Hex is always a great way to lock down Queen of Pain, and you sort of preempt the BKB a little bit, which the Orchid doesn't necessarily do. So Nyx is going to be banned out by aggressive Teamwork Experience, none too surprisingly there, given that IndidiousIdol are looking for a carry. So AtE pretty much forced to throw all of the carry bans so far in this game. So Idol, what are they looking for? They're looking for an offlaner and they're looking for a carry. Looking for a solo and a carry. They could choose to go aggressive, but I don't know how much kill potential they necessarily have in their setup right now. Maybe with a very aggressive carry, someone like a Juggernaut, someone who brings a lot of killing potential, and just by themselves, could even be a Gyrocopter. They might be able to try and go for that aggressive lane, but aggressively tri-laning into Jakiro isn't necessarily the most fun thing in the world, and there's still a Keeper of the Light in the pool. So maybe if we see that as a ban from IndidiousIdol, we might see something aggressive from them. As far as our mid matchup is concerned, it's going to be Queen of Pain against Magnus. Definitely a matchup that favors the Queen of Pain. There is some kill potential going back the way of Magnus, and he doesn't necessarily care too much about the discrepancy in the farm that's going to be going on. He's tanky enough that Queen of Pain can't really kill him too easily unless he lets himself get harassed down. And he's going to get farm and levels regardless, which is all that you want on your Magnus.
10 seconds remaining.
But yeah, I'm really interested to see where this draft takes us as we move forward, and AtE gonna keep racking up those carry bans, choosing to remove the Luna. So, Idol a little bit light on any sort of AoE stun right now. Team fight okay, definitely backed up by the Queen of Pain. But between the Jakiro and the Magnus, there's definitely some big threats over on the side of AtE. They've got a bit of split push flavor, a little bit of split push flavor in there as well, with the Nature's Prophet, so still plenty of directions for them to try and take this draft. The Chen ban, not quite sure how to read into that one. We saw a little bit of back and forth in the lobby just before, which suggests that these teams may be a little bit familiar with one another, and may have sussed one another out in previous scrims and previous matches and things like that. So. Yeah. Oh, and one thing I didn't check. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Microphone volume was all the way up. That would have been quite a bit of background noise. Though I did clear out my computer today, so it should be a little bit less noisy after getting rid of all of that dust. So I've tweaked that down. That'll be fine for the rest of the broadcast. I'm sorry about the background noise there, guys. But Gyrocopter's gonna be banned out by AtE. So another carry that I mentioned going to be removed from the pool. And IndidiousIdol throw out a ban on the Chaos Knight. Interestingly enough, so maybe still suspecting that AtE might be looking to go fairly aggressive here. Again, I think the problem for IndidiousIdol is that the remaining heroes that they pick up need to have they need to bring quite a bit of damage to whatever is going on, because most of the time you don't want to have 3 heroes roaming. And a farming Rubik or Shadow Demon isn't going to be doing too much. So wherever Rubik and Shadow Demon roam, there needs to be enough damage already sitting and waiting in the lane, like a Queen of Pain, to be able to get those kills. And Anti-Mage is going to be the pickup here from AtE. So it looks like they're just heading straight in that split push direction. Anti-Mage really not going to be looking to do too much early on. Magnus or Nature's Prophet could be on that offlane, could be on mid, and just looking for that last support from them right now. And FEO complaining that he hasn't seen the Dota game in months, but it's still the same heroes picked. It is the same heroes picked, but the metagame has actually progressed a little bit past this point. So it's interesting to see. That we're sort of still in this flavor as far as SEA is concerned, and Winner are going to do the pickup here from IndidiousIdol. I do like it. A lot of damage. There's a ton of lockdown between the Rubik and the Shadow Demon, so it should be fully charged power shots all day long. more than likely, well, not actually sure where she's going to be laning. Winner not a very popular offlaner anymore. Teams are just too adept at dealing with her. Could be the Queen of Pain potentially, but yeah, we'll have to see. Again, there's a sort of potential mid offlane switch going on for Insidious right now. And
5 seconds remaining.
how are we going to round things off? Again, IndidiousIdol still very single target focused. They don't have a ton of AoE. They don't have a ton of AoE lockdown. Sort of aside from Shackle and the Telekinesis land, you compare that to Aggressive Teamwork Experience, who, I guess, fitting their name, have a very aggressive team fighting lineup and adding even more AoE in the form of Lina right now to round out the draft. And Jakiro definitely can fill that role of a setup stunner, so I like this so far from AtE. It's just going to be a question of make sure that Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage are useful enough early enough in the game that they don't get walked over by IndidiousIdol. And I think Insidious, I mean, I'd hate to see something like a Faceless Void here, because that means that they're going to try and take this to the late game. And I feel like their correct strategy might just be okay. Except the fact that AtE are probably going to split push and they're going to try and win this late. Let's take it to them early, let's try and get some things done, let's try and force Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage to come out of hiding before they can just farm up the storm, do whatever they want. And yeah, so we'll see what Insidious are going to be able to pick up in that vein. I'm kind of drawing a blank a little bit at the moment. We could see something like a farming Storm Spirit. I think Storm would be great in the setup. He could even be the mid, and Queen of Pain could be farming, or Windrunner can be your farmer. It doesn't, I mean, all three of those heroes are fantastic at farming. You don't mind giving them your one position in the slightest, though it's not always the most common decision to do so. And it's gonna be a Clinks. Okay, so they get someone. I was thinking Storm, because you can get some Orchids going, I mean, with the Queen of Pain, and you can get some silences on Anti-Mage, and that's great to lock him down. It's great to lock down Magnus. But I really like the Clinks here from IndidiousIdol, so hopefully they're going to be able to make use of his very aggressive, very early playstyle, and hopefully be able to get some pickoffs along the way as well. So getting into the game, over on the side of IndidiousIdol, we have Insidious C playing the Queen of Pain. We've got Trafalgar D Sum playing the Clinks. Letnaz is going to be on the Winner. Z-Red is going to be on Shadow Demon, and I ran his name through Google Translate just a little bit ago. It translates to Sojiro, and then I think the rest is a Bleach reference. Well, I think the whole thing is a Bleach reference. And okay, looks like we're gonna have a remake. So everybody's gonna disconnect, and we'll be back very soon, guys. So that's the draft. Keep it in mind, and we will be back in just a second. Okay, so we are back in the lobby. I guess I can poke my head on stream and say hi. Good to see you guys. Again, you're behind 2 minutes of delay, so I'm not necessarily seeing you instantly, but yeah, looks like yeah, so Insidious asked for a remake. This guy's name translates roughly to Sojiro Instant Days to Kill. I think that's a pretty bad translation on Google Translate's part. I suspect as much. It could be more accurate. Alternatively, his name is, on his Steam profile, Ropang. He's also played under... no, it looks like the majority of the time he just plays under this tag that he's currently playing under. So I'll just call him Sojiro. And hopefully that pronunciation isn't butchering it too much. So, yeah. I'm going to turn the webcam off because it's creeping me out with 2 minutes of delay. Not being able to really interact with you guys directly. So we're going to have an all-pick remake of the game. And looks like we're just waiting on one of AtE.Err0R's players to get in. Again, it's Dota, so you know we're running a long way behind schedule. It's 37 minutes past the actual starting time. I mean, drafting does take around 15, so we weren't doing too badly but we are definitely losing seconds here, and we just lost the admin for the match as well. Still no sign of the admin. I'm not the lobby leader. Clinks' best bones confirmed. Mr. Clinks' wild ride. I think that's going to be the subheader for this match. So hopefully Clinks will be able to get some stuff done. Do 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 do. Are you talking about the whoosh sound, AtE.Err0R? Just the very faint whoosh. That's just my fans. I'm gonna okay. Game plan is buy some quieter fans and then clean out my radiator, because that noise is just fan noise. So yeah. I mean, it's fine when I'm talking nonstop, but when I kind of go quiet, the microphone really picks it up, so. Yeah. Do 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 do. Still missing one player. So we're on that being more entertaining, guys, but it's just not a whole lot to talk about when we're just waiting in between lobbies. Buy the fanless fans. I don't know if those work too well. What? Whoa, what was that? Okay, it looks like I'm... Well, that was really strange. That was very strange, but everything seems okay now. I don't know, it randomly disconnected me. So, welcome. Anyone watching off the ticket must be very confused at the moment, but this is going to be Aggressive Teamwork Experience AtE.Err playing against IndidiousIdol. This is round 1 of Group A of the AMD Dota 2 Premier League, and this is the Regional Qualifier Finals. This is an AP remake of a game that was just drafted a couple of minutes ago, so teams are in front of you, everybody's picked up their heroes. We are just waiting at 25 seconds until the game starts. I am Basecamp, I'm happy to be here bringing you guys this game, and I think that's it as far as introductions go, so I'm just going to make a very quick check of microphone levels. Everything is sorted, and we're going to get underway in just a couple of seconds. And I think that's it as far as introductions are concerned. I'm glad to be back casting. Nice to see a couple of people here tuned in. And we're going to have a very quick pause as the game starts, and I'm going to run over who is what, who's playing what. Do I watch Animu? I don't watch that much Animu. But anyway, so on IndidiousIdol we have Socks, I'm going to call him, playing the winner. Z-Red is going to be on Shadow Demon. We've got Monkey D Dynamis, well, let's call him Monkey, playing the Clinks. Insidious C is going to be on the Queen of Pain. And a guy whose name roughly translates to Sojiro, I think. It's Bleach reference. Is going to be playing Rubik. So I'm not 100% sure what to call him. His teammates have insisted that I call him Honey Lily, but I don't know if that's going to go down too well. So we'll find out as we move further into the game. Over on the side of Air, who we haven't looked at just yet, we have Gizmo playing Anti-Mage. We're going to have Mihawk playing the Jakiro. We've got Killzone 555 playing Lina. Madman is going to be on Magnus, and that leaves Pulse, or Pulse, I'm going to call him Pulse, to play the Nature's Prophet. I'm not 100% sure if that's right. It could be Pals E. Let's go with Pulse. I'm sorry if I butcher the pronunciation on anybody's names. So, yeah, I got a little bit of jungle invasion starting for now. Looks like we might have a tri-lane focused around the winner. Definitely have a Ring of Protection picked up, so it looks like it might be the case. Well, Gizmo, oh god, Air, suspecting what's going on. It looks like they're just going to head up towards top. A little bit of a tri-lane forms there as well. Mihawk just camping out the 0-minute rune for the moment. And looks like Klink's going to be solo top for IndidiousIdol. Madman just on mid, Bottle Rush ready to go. First point up in the Skewer, and Insidious C, slightly more aggressive Bottle Rush out from him, though we've got a level 1 Smoke Gank from IndidiousIdol's wrapping around towards mid right now, just going to be hanging off to the side. Regenerate scouted out as our 0 minutes, so Socks pinging that one. And Madman is coming in on mid. He does have Skewer level 1, but it's only 600 units range now. And these supports are looking for blood. There are some Treants coming forward, but they're not going to scout this out. Smoke's going to be revealed soon, but there's the Sting, and Madman's already down in the river. Gets the Skewer back, but there's a disruption. There's going to be a lift. Again, I think the problem here is going to be damage. The disruption already used. The throw back a long way. Can they right-click him to death? Yes, they can. That's first blood, but Pulse gets a couple of right-clicks out of it. Out himself. Insidious C should be absolutely fine, however. A nice little gank to start the game off from IndidiousIdol. And Rubik just chilling out in the river right now, soaking up a little bit of experience as Insidious C deals with these Treants. And with that first blood, Bottle already picked up for the Queen of Pain, so off to a really good start. Winner already down bot, farming it up. And looks like Z-Red coming in to disrupt Nature's Prophet's jungling just a little bit. Not a whole that he can do. Wants to try and steal the creep, does manage to get the last hit on the Treant there, but has to throw a disruption, taking quite a bit of damage, and Insidious C is still just hanging out. Rubik actually taking the primary farm on mid right now. Though looks like Insidious finally going to come in and take his rightful place at mid. Regenerate bottled up as well, so can pretty much harass until the end of days right now, and that's going to be an absolutely fantastic position for him as far as this mid lane is concerned. Though AtE have already got off to a pretty good start on their farmers, though. I mean, I was going to say Nature's Prophet a bit misrepresented, but he's actually been camping out mid, just trying to free up space for Madman. So Insidious C with this regenerate, he can go as hard as he absolutely wants, and that's going to be tough for Madman. And Sojiro just off to the side, still just hanging out. Prophet's going to TP his way down towards bot, and looks like Yeah, maybe, well, who knows, maybe a bit of a lane swap up right now. Madman goes up at the 2-minute rune. Actually denied there by the Shadow Demon, so nicely played by Z-Red. And Mihawk just sitting on top of his wards right now. No attempt, as far as I can see, to ward up the pull or anything like that from the Radiant. I'm not actually sure, do they have a second? Yeah, they've still got the second ward up right now, and along with some sentries. So it looks like Z-Red going to be able to get a couple of stacks off, get some pulls running. Monkey not getting a whole lot of farm just yet, and Rubik now rotating down towards bot. So lanes ending up a little bit weird, the duo lane not really being punished just yet. Though Mihawk's going to come in, throws down an obs, and there's no sentries up in this lane, so that's going to be blocked out for the next little bit. And the nicely timed Ice Path is going to steal the biggest creep in the camp. We've got Rubik just chilling off to the side right now. Shackle will latch, but I don't think Prophet is actually in that much trouble. And the Treants putting out a ton of damage. Winner not coming out on top from that exchange. Now going to be forced to pop a salve. Pops a Clarity. And yeah, a nicely played Shackle, nicely latched, but didn't really amount to much in the end. Gizmo still leading the board in terms of farm up on top. Not a whole lot the supports can do except just mill around and make sure that he gets pretty much all the space that he wants to try and get every single last hit. Rubik still just chilling off to the side of the Treants, being an absolute pain right now. And just driving Winner back out of the lane. Nature's Prophet, kind of similar to the Lone Druid in that regard. Just having a summon unit that you can just send at the enemy hero makes you very, very strong in these 1v1 situations. So far, actually a lot of farm going out around the map. We've got a Soul Ring picked up for Clinks right now. And he's just trying to soak experience as best he can at top. That's pretty much the only game plan right now. And Z-Red, nicely played by him as well, going to be camping out the 4-minute rune. So Insidious C can come and nab that one. I'm not actually sure this ward's definitely not, I don't think it is. Yeah, definitely not giving vision of the top rune for the Dire, so they're just going based off that bot rune. They get a disruption out on Killzone, Ice Path, not really going to connect on anything, and Monkey is still chasing. Stun does connect, however. A bit of a turnaround, and the Shadow Poison going to pop and get the kill. Monkey now able to walk himself out. Nicely played by IndidiousIdol, and I guess a little bit of unlucky, a little bit of bad positioning there from Lena, sort of getting caught out. And I mean, it's only a duo lane, you shouldn't really be dying in those situations, but Jakiro unfortunately didn't manage to connect his Ice Path either. Rubik's going to come in from the side, trying to perhaps cancel the Skewer mid-animation, put it on cooldown, but Magnus doesn't actually go anywhere. It's a little bit weird in that regard between telekinesis or any stun that I think changes your Z-ax coordinate, lifts you up into the air. Rubik's going to go for a bit of a D-ward, doesn't manage to spot anything out at the moment. And there's actually a fairly large stacked camp just over here, so hopefully going to be able to clear that one out. Though the problem is going to be they don't really have a clearing support. I mean, Shadow Demon's all the way down at level 2, so can stack up from Shadow Poison jungle a little bit in that way, and there's some Fade Bolt spam as well, but this is going to take quite a long time to clear, and I think it's really just sitting there for Insidious C. Gets it to level 6, goes for that point straight into Sonic Wave. So hopefully going to be able to get a kill out of this. Rubik's going to come in from the side. Madman bottling up. Madman bottling up a little bit. And AtE.Err0R just going to be walking the supports down. No attempts, well, aside from that level 1 gank, no attempt in terms of smoke or anything like that. Oh, and Rubik, he's caught on. He knows how to throw heroes up onto the high ground, but he's going to get skewered back into his death. Killzone stuck up there, they can't pass him. Or can they pass him a TP? Gonna try and buy a TP. Mihawk attempts the pass, but in comes Monkey. Just needs a couple more right clicks to bring that one down. Killzone stands up on the high ground, but I think the kill zone belongs to him. And he's gonna go down, and now Nature's Prophet in mid. Insidious C with the blink gets the kill, now trying to make his way out. Completely out of mana, Tang going up. Madman giving chase, but out of mana himself. And gonna have to give it up there, so the last couple of minutes working out fantastically for IndidiousIdol. Now up 4 kills, up about 2k experience, and up about 2k gold as well. Monkey, despite being aggressively trialing against the start, has not really suffered at all, well, aside from the last hit board. Sox has some phase boots picked up, And looks like the support's going to be rotating down towards bot to try and pick up a kill on him. Nature's Prophet doesn't have a point in Sprout. I'm not sure how they're going to set up this ice path. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Jakiro, quite slow. And a fairly prolonged cast animation on that ice path. I'm really interested to see that Nature's Prophet hasn't opted for a single point in Sprout. It just means that he can't TP to a lane. He can't set up kills, and yeah, without it, it's going to be trouble. I mean, the rationale might be that, okay, if I'm going to TP, well, you know, Sprout isn't really going to help me against Queen of Pain, but, I mean, there are opportunities where it can. They're going to come in, they get the ice path down on when they're comboing off the stun. Prophet ultimate bounces as well, but do they have the finisher? It just doesn't look like they do, and Winner are going to be able to walk herself out. I think Pulse maybe starting the Nature's Wrath fairly close to the Winner, so not getting a late bounce and not getting that much damage out of it. So she's going to survive and live to fight another day, and that's a big time investment from these AtE.Err supports. Meanwhile, Gizmo hasn't been suffering too much in terms of farm on top, but will cop, hopefully being copping, a little bit of harassment from Monkey. He doesn't really care too much since he does have that Ring of Health up. But yeah, the support's now rotating down towards bot just to try and set up farm for the Prophet. We'll see how this works out for AtE.Err in the long run. And oh, Rubik in trouble on mid. Reverse Polarity gonna pop him like a grape. There was a haste turn up on Madman as well. I think he could have just chased and gone for the shockwave, but wants the kill, locks it out. Yeah, I think a little bit of a questionable decision, but overall a kill's a kill and helps AtE.Err crawl their way back onto the board. Not too far behind, only 3 kills in it, though Experience and Gold are currently still pushing out in favor of IndidiousIdols. And thanks, Nada Gaming. Yeah, I'll be casting Cyber Gamer on the 11th and 12th of May, so that's next weekend, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. If you guys, if you're playing, looking forward to seeing you. If you're just going to be watching, looking forward to seeing you, all the same. And if you're not watching, well, thank you for the kind words. And Monkey not really in that much trouble, but Gizmo forcing him back right now. I've got 2 on mid. Madman still with that haste, not really under too much threat. And Jakiro and Lena still just hanging off to the side. I don't know if II have seen this just yet. Zerad's going to rotate his way across to mid. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet still just jungling up for the moment. And Monkey going to come in, throw a bit of harassment. Again, I mean, he does have the potential to drive Gizmo back. He doesn't care too much because of his Ring of Health. And the poor man's shield, but it does mean that Monkey can claim a little bit of a dominance over this lane. I'm not sure what word I was looking for there. They get the lift back. Madman, he's still got this haste, and CDC comes in. He throws the Sonic Wave, but it doesn't actually connect. Now stunned up. Shockwave going to bring him down. Killing spree for Madman. That was a weirdly shift-queued Sonic Wave. And IndidiousIdol pays for it. Nicely played by Madman. Getting himself out of there. I think the haste rune. A little bit of an X factor there. And so another kill on board for AtE. Rubik almost up to level 6 on mid, so Magnus going to have to be a little bit more careful with his reverse polarities after that, but it's not a huge impact. Zerad comes in, but I think he's spotted, and Nature's Prophet immediately legs it. Again, nice early use of smoke by IndidiousIdols, but we haven't really seen that subsequent use just yet. And definitely potential kills, maybe missed along the way. Kadadiman unfortunately only down at level 3, so it doesn't contribute an enormous amount to the gank. But Nature's Prophet isn't really that tanky either. 11 minutes in, looks like he's just making his way towards, a Midas right now. It appears I'm going to be TPing his way back to base. Might be something different. We're still yet to see. And the Treant's just dancing on the tower right now. Siege Creep will be able to get a little bit more damage out, and I think this will be a tier 1 taken. Yeah, looks like it's going to be the case. There is a fortification ready to go, but AtE not going to be using it. Instead, they have 3 on top. Looks like they were looking for Monkey, but just don't get the lockdown. They dropped in a sentry ward, but looks like he only copped a little bit of damage, and going to be able to get a heal off as well from his ultimate. So right now, I mean, AtE just being a little bit less efficient with their time usage, and support's not really accumulating that much. It is hurting them, and it is pushing out this gold and experience difference. They're up on the enemy high ground, however. IndidiousIdol with vision from the tower, not going to be walking himself up there. And oh, they get the disruption off. Rubik is here. TP support coming in. Jakiro, they still want to go. Madman's going to skewer in. He's got a reverse polarity ready to go, but he threatens. Doesn't cast it just yet. Finds Z-Red. Now on the chase. Has another shockwave. Rubik in trouble. Nice shackle from the low ground. Rubik's going to drop. Shockwave finishes him. There's the reverse polarity. Z-Red going to go down over there. 2 for 2 so far. Insidious C and Sox waiting down in the low ground. But no mana up on the Windrunner, so it looks like they're just going to call it quits there. And every support dies. That's the overall trade. And well, not every support, actually. I think, did Jakiro? Yeah, Jakiro definitely survived. But Nature's Prophet going down. So I guess a slightly more favorable trade for II. Though Rubik is getting quite a bit of farm. He does have a couple of levels, and I really love to see IndidiousIdols prioritizing that level 6 on the Rubik. It is going to be a fantastic asset in this game. It means that he can be a little bit more aggressive around Anti-Mage, steal Blink and just blink away if something goes bad. Obviously, quite a bit of a deterrent to Magnus, and they're just great spells overall to steal in this game. Lina and Jakiro, 2 heroes where you're never really unhappy with whatever you steal. So, yeah, definitely like to see that from II right now. Insidious C TPing in towards mid. Looks like it's going to be a straight Hex Rush from him. We've got an Ultimate Orb already picked up. I'm going to switch it over to Net Worth since we've seen the tower fall and we're getting past the point where denies are really relevant. Oh, Killzone. I think he's been pinged out. They get the vision. The tower's already dead. He's going to throw it as much as he can, but gets shackled up. And he is gone. Madman not mad enough to try and save him there. So, a tower and pretty much a freebie there for II. 3 kills the advantage to them right now, and now rotating their way up towards top. None of this spotted by Radiant Ward, but intuition should be enough to suggest where they're going. Gizmo gonna scout out a little bit, not really under too much threat on the Anti-Mage, though there is quite a bit of lockdown, and if he gets stunned near the illusions from the Shadow Demon, then that might be it. He can run out of mana before he can actually blink himself away. Oh, actually no, he hasn't maxed out Mana Break. Going for a Burning-esque build, I don't like no points in Spell Shield, especially given that II are largely magic damage based, aside from the Clinks. And I mean, 1 point, it's just such a huge increase. It's 26% magic resistance for 1 point. Yes, the marginal points are only 8% apiece, but I would definitely love to see that first point up, just for that little bit more survivability against things like the Sonic Wave, and even like the Power Shot. And Clinks, he's got his Orchid already up. We've got a blink out from Gizmo, but there's too many heroes here for Clinks to consider going for something. But AtE, they bring a whole bunch in, but they don't actually manage to defend the tower. Madman, however, does have his blink up. They jump on Insidious C. They need the chain stun, and they're going to be able to get him down. Is that going to be it? Rubik, now spread it out. Pulse TPing himself in. ZZ Red and Sox now walking up. There's the Sprout. Where's the mech? Sox still just waiting. Going to throw out the Power Shot, but Rubik already dead. Now the buyback. Madman walking himself through. Winner goes up out of the high ground, gets stunned. Laguna Blade to the face, now skewered back. Finally, the mech pops, but he's going to go down. In comes Queen of Pain. Sonic Wave, 4 dead. Double kill for Insidious C, still chasing. That's actually an illusion. That's the real mag. He's going to go down, and the buyback from Insidious C pays dividends in a big way. Whole bunch of kills picked up there, and a 5-kill lead for IndidiousIdols as the dust settled. Was looking bad to start, but a good overall call in keeping AtE engaged as Queen of Pain TP'd back in, and looks like they're going to be able to pick up another tower on top of all of these kills. And yeah, looking pretty good. Fortification's going to pop, respawns right now. Anti-Mage able to TP in, but Strafe pops from Monkey, and I think that's going to be it. It's going to be curtains for this top tower. Killzone wanders himself in, but very quickly reconsiders his decision. So, Nature's Prophet with his Hand of Midas finished up. Quite a bit of gold in the bank. No clear indication to what he's going for just yet. Shackle. Okay, so Shackle turned it on a creep. I think SXO's CX was maybe expecting a slightly different angle on that one. And Insidious C, he's got half of a double damage left. He's looking. Madman does have his blink up, however, going to turn himself around. He's going to get the skewer down to the low ground. Windrun's going to pop. Ice Path up onto the high ground. Insidious C blinking himself out. Lift up onto Killzone. Still nobody dead just yet, but the Mana Void and the stun going to be able to kill off Insidious. He just recently popped back as well. Fairly big pickup. And oh, Monkey just right-clicking from the high ground. Macropyre not doing too much. And now Gizmo chasing down Rubik. He's stolen Mana Void of all things. They get the disruption. Can they get the damage? There's the lift, but the reverse polarity on 3. Gizmo gets shackled, but it's only for the mini stun. Goes down regardless. Madman now in trouble. They didn't have enough damage to find the finish. Madman's gonna go down. Z-Red TP's out. And Killzone just walking himself away. Every single team fight, I mean, on the surface looking pretty good for Error, but IndidiousIdol managing to trade evenly or come out on top at every single turn. Clanks unfortunately did go down in that fight, but I mean, just net worth looking fantastic for them right now. All of their farmers have items, and everyone just steadily working towards whatever they want right now. Queen of Pain a little bit stalled away from that, hex, especially with the buyback and that recent death. But still, despite that, not too far away. We're sort of honing in on a 20-minute hex right now, assuming maybe 1 kill and relative free farm in between. Z-Red walking down. Some arcane boots picked up on him. Rubik actually has a quelling blade, and that's his quelling blade. So we're gonna keep an eye out for Mad Jukes. From what's it, Sojiro? Yeah, that was it. Again, I'm sorry to anyone in this game if I butcher the pronunciations on your names. Do contact me in between games if for some reason you hear this, and tell me how you actually want your name pronounced. Especially if you're the winner, because I'm going to be casting your game right after this one. So Monkey, he's looking for blood, makes his way down towards bot. Mihawk just absolutely nothing in terms of farm right now. Not the same story for Killzone, however. He's got some arcane boots picked up. Now looks like he's taking over warding duty for a little bit. Gizmo was off to such a great start, but still not quite up to his Battle Fury just yet. And AtE.Err0R still just pushing in aggressively right now. And again, I touched on this in the draft, that it just needed to be an aggressive strategy against Nature's Prophet, against an anti-mage. Don't let them have the space on the map, don't let them have the farm. And as you can see, IndidiousIdol know exactly what's going on. They're going to get some aggressive wards down, really denying AtE any access to their jungle, and just, I mean, continuing to cut them off from sources of farm. Gizmo's going to push in on top. He's now got his Battle Fury finished, but AtE.Err0R absolutely relentless in defending these towers. They've hardly lost any HP on them, given that it is 20 minutes in. Oh, and they've got more heroes rotating around. The silence, it's up. Gizmo now in trouble. He's going to turn around and throw out some right clicks, but he might just be able to be soloed here by Monkey. Laguna Blade thrown out, but Monkey survives. TP's in. It's one for nothing so far, and the reverse polarity thrown out on absolutely nothing by Madman. Oh, unfortunate for him. This has to be a retreat, but the 2-man shackle cutting off the path. Ice path. There's Sonic Wave over the top as well. Nature's Prophet's going to drop. Killzone turns himself around. Insidious fairly low. Throws out the sting. Still considering there's a mech actually available on Sox. Needs to pop it right now. Insidious, he's in trouble. He's playing defensive because he doesn't have that one up, but still holding it. Force Staff up. Mihawk, was he actually able to get the kill? No, still blinking further into the trees is Insidious C, and 4 will go down at the end of that team fight. Nicely played there by AtE.Err0R one more time. And now leading by 9 kills, heading towards a 10k experience difference, and by a 12k gold swing as well. And just little things for AtE, just going awry here and there. I'm not 100% sure if the decision to engage there was necessarily if it was necessarily the right one. I mean, they'd already lost Anti-Mage. They were coming in to try and save him. But then they committed, and once they realized they'd sort of overcommitted, they tried to disengage, and that's when they got punished, and just couldn't get out without casualties. So Insidious C now has his hex finished up. The push is coming in on mid. Monkey with 2.5k gold up in the bank, so working towards that next item promptly. And Nature's Prophet still just sitting on top of a ton of gold right now. I mean, there isn't a mech up on AtE, and I mean, no, it's gonna die anyway up top. There's a double damage Quap looking for him. But the comment that I was gonna make before Insidious C brutally murdered our friend Nature's Prophet was that maybe he could have considered going just back for a mech. It's obvious that AtE.Err0R are looking to come and pressure you. They're looking to come and end this game early. You can just not deviate from your game plan and say, if we're going to win this, we're going to win this late. So let's just deal with this in the late game. If we make it there, A-okay. But at the same time, there is something that, something that says, okay, we're having a tough time. Magnus or one of the supports would normally farm towards a mech, though it takes a very long time for a support like a Jakiro, especially when he's playing the 5 position, to be able to farm up a mech, and Lena doesn't really carry one that well. So there was a potential there for Mag to get one if the game is going well, but the game is now going badly, and you're sitting on top of a lot of gold that's not really helping you win the game right now. I really think a mech could have been a nice pickup. And they've almost got a second Hex up. Monkey getting a couple of damage. Shackle attempted, but Madman didn't really get himself out of the way. He was actually ahead of that Shackle, and IndidiousIdol just right-clicking away on the tower. AtE just not able to commit to this fight. They get an Ice Path down. Can they get the biggest wombo combo of the lives? Unfortunately, Rubik, being the sneaky lumberjack that he is with his Quelling Blade, is just hiding out in the trees, waiting to steal whatever he possibly can. Sitting on top of an Ice Path right now, but really wants that juicy reverse polarity. And Gizmo gets a few seconds of alone time with his jungle, but again, AtE push in. They get the silence out. Gizmo's running in the wrong direction for this to actually work. But Monkey does have Crystallis up as well, so damage output just getting a little bit through the roof right now. I am getting a bit of frame drop, guys. I'm sorry about that. It should clear up as the night goes on. I am still sharing a connection despite some minor upgrades to my network recently. I changed around a bit of hardware. So hopefully it's not too laggy. Hopefully everything's running okay for you guys. But yeah, AtE, they've still got the Aegis up. They don't really have any other targets left to take. Outer tower's gone. They've got nothing on their minds. But getting up onto the high ground and getting Clinks anywhere near these towers. Pulse? Or Pals E? Or, I mean, 4 is normally A, but in this context it looks like a U to me. Agree, disagree. Again, apologizing on the butchering names front. But again, he's got the gold. I really think he should be picking up a mech right now. It would be such an enormous help in these fights, especially just between the AoE damage. It's probably not going to be a kill. Oh, Madman goes for the skewer, but not going to be able to find it. Talk still wants it. Goes for the power shot. Not going to connect, but Monkey right clicks. Gonna do it. Oh, nice stun. Hits on 2. Will go down regardless. Fade Bolt bouncing in from the side, but Winner now in trouble. Macropyre right on top of the... Oh, nice reverse. Hits on 2. Winner is gonna go down. 2 kills, but it's 2 for 2 so far. Gizmo comes in. Throws out the Mana Void. He's gonna be able to kill off 1. Monkey now sprouted up. He's got the Aegis, gonna try and book it out of here as quickly as he can, but IndidiousIdol, he comes in, he's still got the Hex. Where was he this fight? Still sitting on top of Sonic Wave for the moment. Blink out. Now still the Blink to follow the Sonic Wave, the turnaround. No, he needs one more Scream, but right click's gonna be enough to bring this one down. Now the silence up. Nature's Prophet on the retreat. I think the Orchid damage might be enough to kill him off, and IndidiousIdol gonna make 100% sure of that one with the Blink in. So IndidiousIdol one more time, coming in and doing a bit of cleanup. Nicely played by AtE. They got a good sprout down on the Macropyre. Got a lot of damage out on the Winner. Defensive disruption, kept her alive for a few seconds, but died to the Nature's Wrath right as it was bouncing around. So supports were really getting wiped out, but the Aegis doing work for AtE. And without it, that fight could have definitely gone a lot worse. So nicely played there from AtE, and definitely I think a glimmer of hope there. They do have the power to take these defensive team fights, and if AtE want to push in within the next couple of minutes, it has to be on slightly more even footing than it was just a little while ago with the Aegis up. So Z-Red not giving any room for AtE to escape. This is his perimeter, and no one will cross this. So AtE relegated to whatever farm they can grab. Arriving in their lane, so that's going to continue to push out this experience and gold difference to about 20k in each category. Oh, and Nature's Prophet, he's going to pay for his insolence. He crossed the line. He's going to get hexed up, throw out the ultimate for a little bit more farm, but he is dead. He's going to drop. And AtE just doing a really good job of keeping the jungle locked out. Winner going for a bit of solo pushing, a bit of solo split pushing up on top, almost. That Hex finished up, unless there's there's not already an ultimate orb up on the courier. And Monkey, he's hunting, but he really needs to be on the other side of his target whenever he's going for these kills. 3 are going to push in on bot. Again, IndidiousIdols are not fighting up onto the high ground with an Aegis anymore. It's about as even as it was before. They're going to go for a smoke. Nature's Prophet still 10 seconds away from respawning. IndidiousIdol scouting with illusions. The reverse polarity catches too, but he gets Hex. Can they get the steal? He's still stunned. The follow-up stun from Killzone. 2 supports go down, but that's going to be it so far for the investment of the reverse polarity. Monkey's coming in, but Winner is already making her way up onto the high ground. Top just needs to wipe out these creeps. I'm going to try and play the distraction game. Pulse is going to TP around. Threatening it right now. Monkey still on mid. Wants some pickoffs. He's got his Daedalus up. Madman up top. Doesn't actually have enough to get a Blink Skewer back. He even had that Ice Path connected. And Monkey, what was going on mid, my friend? Opens up aggressive. Well, looks like he didn't even open up aggressively. Just walking into range of the Sentry Ward. And I think a nicely connected stun from Killzone, perhaps. Lining up that kill. Winner going to be forced to just force staff herself down onto the low ground. Almost has that Hex finished up, which is going to be great news as far as dealing with this anti-mage is concerned. But AtE, we're getting further into the game. We're 28 minutes in. The anti-mage starting to catch up a little bit, though II is still leading the way. But if things turn around, they're going to turn around in a big way. And we'll see if II make the call to maybe just wait around for this next Roshan. Or maybe it's just going to be to push straight up onto the high ground. Reverse polarity is going to be off cooldown within the next 30 seconds. And that's going to be, well, that's plenty of time. Clinks is still just waiting around on the sidelines right now. And hopefully going to be seeing BKB as that next pickup for Clinks. Just not 100% sure. Love the damage so far. Gives some great solo kill potential. Means that he can punish Gizmo if he's ever off split pushing. But Gizmo's gonna have a Manta style soon. He's not gonna really care too much about the Orchid. And Monkey definitely needs to be able to hang around a little bit longer in these fights. He is survivable when he's got Death Pact up. But that's about the extent of it. And Rubik now chasing to get disruption out on Anti-Mage. They need the Shackle to connect, but there's the Hex as well. Sock's already picking that one up, and the reverse polarity only out on 2. Monkey walking in, gets hit by the Ice Path. Support still alive. Mana Void gonna finish him off, but Gizmo, he's gonna drop Sonic Wave, now flying Killzone. Throws out the Laguna. It's 3 for 1 so far, and IndidiousIdol with one more right click, you're gonna be able to pick that one up. The Monkey's already dead. It's just the 2 female heroes going for blood, and Pulse. Looks like he's gonna drop. IndidioIdol still just barely alive. Monkey King Bar picked up on him. Gonna pop an Invis Rune. Now healing up. Madman. I think he's just baiting a little bit. IndidioIdol does need to be cautious. Skewer gonna be up in just a second. It looks like Madman. And I'm gonna decide better of that. Not, I guess maybe not 100% sure of the cooldown on that Hex. But II again. It's a fairly even team fight. They got some high priority targets, but I don't know if they're healthy enough to try and push in right now. Mech going to be off cooldown in just a second. Reverse polarity still down for a minute, but again, the question of Monkey just not surviving the fight, and that his respawn timer is going to be enough, more or less, for that reverse polarity to be back up and ready. IndidiousIdol do have a bit of an ace in the hole, waiting to respawn. That's Roshan. They're going to have that Aegis pretty much no problem, unless they try and push up onto the high ground one more time, too close to the respawn. AtE.Err0R should really have tabs on what's going on, and for the first time, pretty much in the entire game, Experience and Gold have a very ever so slight bump up towards the Radiance. So again, it's still anybody's game, and Madman making his way towards a BKB. Once he gets his hands on that, going to be way less susceptible to those hexes. Well, still a little bit susceptible if II are the ones initiating, but definitely a good sign. And Nature's Prophet only about 800 gold out from that Hex right now, which is going to be a big help against the completely BKB-less IndidiousIdol side, but they get the Hex off on Killzone. There's the reverse blind, is going to connect on 2. The Skewer not going to go back. Nice disruption out by Z-Red. The Skewer goes out regardless. Is it reverse? No, it's Skewer. Killzone goes down in the end. Lots of damage flying out. There's the blink forward. Nature's Prophet drops. Mihawk stands his ground. Mana Void not quite enough to finish off IndidioIdol, but the tower pop might be enough. Defensive disruption. He's got the blink, but Gizmo is waiting. Wants the right click. Nice blink. The blink to follow. There's the lift. IndidioIdol still alive. Silenced up as well. Gizmo now in trouble. Ice Path out on Monkey, but I think the Orchid damage going to be enough to pop him. Meanwhile, looks like Monkey going to work on the bottom tower. And going to be working away at the racks right now. Backdoor protection still up, however, the train's doing a good job. And IndidioIdol turns around as Nature's Prophet buys back into the game to try and kill off IndidioIdol. and ends up dying. If anything was going to stall his Hex, it was going to be that nice two-man shackle. Monkey just turn around, get these kills. Madman on the way out. Killzone comes in. He's going to get disrupted. Sox still just hiding around right now. Sojiro. He's going to get the lift. Sox is going to survive. They managed to get the racks. God, why was I... Yeah, okay, let's just forget that ever happened. But anyway, so Monkey 2.8k gold up in the bank. AtE.Err0R now with that all-important racks taken. They've got Roshan ready to go as well. That's probably another racks up their sleeve. Madman 15 seconds out from that reverse polarity. We'll have it up soon, but AtE just need a second to regroup. And unfortunately, I don't know if they have that second. 20k the experience lead, 20k the gold lead, and AtE.Err0R now Morbid Mask. Well, Boots of Travel picked up, and we're working towards probably a Mask of Madness, I would guess, on Insidious C right now. So just nothing but damage for him. I think that's the name of the game, and has had some really clutch escapes, especially with some nice disruptions from Z-Red helping out the cause. Gizmo with the Manta Style, finished, but just cannot use that blink aggressively with 2 hexes and an orchid. So unfortunate for him. And again, well, BKB finished up for Madman, but I think BKBs kind of need to be the name of the game for a lot of heroes right now. Though I seem to be doing well enough without them. Though Monkey can outright buy one in just a second, almost up to that 3.9k gold. And Killzone just hanging out on mid. Looks like he's making his way towards a 4-staff at the moment. And Paul's still just sitting on top. Still just sitting on that. Well, still just sitting on the ultimate orb. I mean, it's not really doing too much for him, and especially with that buyback. That's really delaying the Hex. I think a questionable play there. So AtE.Err0R up onto the high ground. Rax taking damage. AtE don't want to engage. Killzone's going to TP in. He throws it Laguna Blade. Insidious C still very healthy. There's a Yule's up on Winner as well. And Gizmo! Gizmo, where's your TP? Did he TP out to the lane? Surely not. There's nothing to TP to. Should have just gone to the side shot, pick up a TP. He's working his way back, but Winner is giving Madman the runaround. Can't get this initiation off. Blink off cooldown. Reverse Polarity ready to go. AtE.Err0R group up a little bit, but they already got the rocks. They got what they came for. Gizmo comes in, but it's way too late. Killzone gonna be able to get the stun down. Winner now gets sprouted. Madman jumps in, but he's immediately silenced. Now pops the BKB, but the reverse not connecting on anything. Reverse stolen by Rubik as well. Disastrous team fight so far, and Insidious C deciding he's not done just yet. Blinks away. Still alive. Double kill. Beyond godlike streak for him. And forces Nature's Prophet to the mat one more time. The range drags picked up on mid. And Monkey now making his way up towards top. The stolen reverse polarity thrown out. The shackle somehow not connecting. Bit of a weird angle on that one. Hitboxes ever confusing. Laguna Blade thrown out on Insidious C, but he continues his reign of terror. And still alive and still life-stealing up. Madman wants the kill. He blinks, he shockwaves, but he gets shackled. Gizmo gonna try for it. He gets Yules, he gets Hex. Insidious C. Will his reign of terror ever stop? Gizmo still with the mana void ready to go, and Rubik blinking every which way. Oh, there's a shackle as well. This is absolutely brutal, and now Gizmo still to blink out. Insidious C off to the side, but the GG called by Z-Red. Bit bad-mannered there, a bit preemptive. However, Monkey is finishing up the top racks, so that's going to be Mega Creeps in just a second. So, yeah, that's Mega Creeps. AtE haven't called game just yet. I think they want to try and make up a couple of kills. Rubik being a bit of a clown. He does have this. He does have the ages, but he doesn't have stolen blink anymore, but he's going to be able to blink himself out all the same. And I think Nature's Prophet just sprouted himself there, and the rest of his teammates. Gizmo now chasing. He wants Rubik. He is mad, and Rubik actually steal on cooldown, dodges out of the way, pops off those wand charges, and in comes the cavalry. Insidious C, defensive blink out, nice two-man shackle, Killzone in trouble, power shot. GG going to be called by Gizmo. The Ancient under siege. Monkey not having any of this fight. He's just going straight for end. Oh, will Insidious C finally die? The mech keeps him alive for a few more seconds, but the beyond godlike streak finally and Ruby comes back in. He got his hands over first a second time. Nature's Prophet's going to go down. Madman with the BKB trying to walk himself out, but that's going to be game. So thanks everyone for tuning in. AtE.Err0R, they're going to advance to play... Oh, who exactly is it? They're going to advance to play GameWare in the semifinal. That's a best of 3 due to start in 4 minutes. We might see a bit of a delay on that, depending on whether or not I want some time. So I've been Baseskip. This is the AMD and Dota 2 Premier League. This is Group A. There are Groups A through D to go over the course of the next 3 days. So I hope you guys will stick around for some more Dota action coming up very soon. If you guys have any feedback for me as far as my casting was concerned, I would love to hear it. Leave me a message in chat or send me an email at baseskipdota@gmail.com. I'm always looking for constructive criticism. But that's going to be it for this game, and I hope to see you for the next one.